Hotel.
India.
Echo. Lima.
Delta.
Shield.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is the DOUG here once again for the main event. It is Friday, a little bit after 10 o'clock, and joining me at this time is my hardcore co-host. She is the queen of extreme, Miss Kara.
What is fucking up, everybody? My God, we have an interesting show tonight. Short show,
Yes.
but interesting.
Interesting, let's hope. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the history of the main event, I am outnumbered tonight. Because also joining us tonight is Lady X. So I'm probably going to get handcuffed and get duct taped in about 5 minutes, folks. But Lady X, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Girl power.
Go us.
This is going to be fun. Well, speaking of girl power, unfortunately, we do have some sad news to report. As we all know, earlier this week, the great Mae Young has passed away at the ripe old age of 90. She lived a long, great life, so this episode is dedicated to her. Speaking of Mae Young, what were your guys' favorite memories of Mae Young? Because God knows she was in our lives from the Attitude Era until the day she died.
You can't possibly tell me to pick a favorite because really, whenever she came on, it was always really interesting, and I remember in the early 2000s especially, it was always just funny to have her come out there, and I think, which was it, they still had to call it Kiss Cam, and then she just came out, and he had to kiss her. It was hilarious.
Lady X, what about you? 'Cause I know you watched wrestling a lot as well when she was on TV a lot. What was your favorite Mae Young moment?
I honestly can't pick a favorite myself. When they showed that memory video of her tonight, I will admit, I kind of almost got kind of teary-eyed. I know I sound like a baby when I say that, but this woman always brought a smile to my face because rather it was putting some other diva in her place or smacking some crazy superstar upside the face, she always got the job done. It didn't matter how old she was, she always got the job done, and that's what mattered the most. She was one of those people that always brought a smile to your face. And she'll be missed.
It was just one of those intentional things or whatever. Like, even if I was still confused, like, what the fuck is going on? I was always fucking laughing at like hell.
I do.
I agree with you.
With both of you ladies. Now, I heard 2 dings. So, do we have anyone else joining us tonight here on the main event?
Yeah, we do, Dougie.
Oh my God! It's the man from Pittsburgh, my fellow Ring of Honor brother, Rockin' Reese.
Yeah.
What's up, Reese?
From Pittsburgh. What's going on, Kara? What's going on, Dougie?
Doing good. Well, Reese, in case you haven't figured out, we are starting with Mae Young. As you know, this episode is dedicated to her. So what was your favorite best Mae Young moment, if you can't pick a favorite one?
Actually, this one was fairly easy, and I'm actually showed it within the tribute video. Getting to see her with the past and present divas are always there for the, I believe it was the first old school Raw. It was just like every time she's there is like to see the reference that the divas always paid her in the Moolah is just a thing to behold. And it's just like, and I think Vince McMahon said it best, there will never be another Mae Young, there will never be another Fabulous Moolah, because pretty much to be the only women to, like, not only cross decades, but to they've crossed centuries and millenniums. That's like, it's going to be rare to outdo what they've done in this business. So
they certainly raised the bar in the women's wrestling division, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Mae Young, I believe she was in this business for 8 or 9 decades. That's an accomplishment right there in itself. I think we have one more person who joined us, if I am correct. So with that person, he, she, or cousin Ed introduce themselves. And no comment.
I
All right.
also heard the sound of someone leaving, so I guess they left.
Okay. Well, then I'm an idiot, which is nothing new with that.
I think the last one who, because I thought the last one who came in was me, but
Okay, well, I must be wrong. Maybe they got scared. My favorite Mae Young moment is actually Mark Henry and all the skits they did, because I laughed at every single one of those. And, of course, her giving birth to the hand, that was Attitude Era pricelessness. I think that's one of the most memorable Attitude moments during that era was her and Mark Henry. So my favorite moment, of course, there are many others as well, but Mae Young, like I said earlier, this episode is for you. Now, also, could
I ask one of Kara's because I came in late here?
Yes, Carol, please tell us yours again for Mr. Rockin'
Oh, my favorite? Like I said, I necessarily couldn't pick a favorite because, my God, this woman has done so many amazing things. It can be really hard to pick a favorite, whether it came down from what she did with, the divas, because, God, they were always funny. I think one time she slapped Michelle McCool when she was still with Layla. That was funny. And then the Collie Kiss Cam when they had it, 2-3 years ago? Yeah. I don't know, just little moments like that I couldn't necessarily pick a favorite between any of those.
And you did hear Lady X's, right, Rockin' Reese?
I did.
Okay, well, moving on to the next thing now. As it was announced apparently yesterday or this morning, one of the two, that we have a new married couple in WWE, Naomi and Jimmy Uso, if I am correct. How does everyone feel about this, knowing that it was taped for Total Divas and looks like there's going to be another season of that?
Oh, my God. Okay. That obviously raises the question whether they do this, whether they're actually a fucking couple, or did they just do this for publicity? Because, honestly, no one knew about their relationship or anything until Total Divas. Honestly, I would have felt better if they kept something like that behind the screen. That way it'd be legitimately real. Now we don't know if it's real. But if it's real, really real, I'm sorry, I mixed words today. Congratulations to them. May they have a good fucking life. Other than that, I don't really care. So,
anybody else?
It happened. Well, let's see. We've seen Tyson and Eddie. We've now seen Jenny and Naomi. Of course, Daniel and Brie. I was like, see, I could kind of see a theme here where every finale is going to be at least either a wedding or an engagement.
In John Cena's case, it will be a divorce.
For once, I think they'll be good and they'll avoid the divorce thing.
Yeah, well, Lady X, what about you? 'Cause we haven't heard you yet. What do you feel about Naomi and Jimmy?
Well, I remember on one of the episodes of Total Divas when Naomi was being featured, when it was her turn to be featured in one of the magazines, Jimmy was getting kind of showing his jealousy side because she was brought 2 different types of swimsuits, and she brought, of course, a 2-piece, and she was doing her swimsuit pictures and something, and he showed up at that portion of it, and he got mad at her for it, and then went behind her back, and it almost ruined her opportunity for it. And those people sat Naomi down and told her, he can ruin this opportunity for you for this and blah, 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 whatever else. And that episode of Total Divas ended her saying to him that if this is how this is going to be, then I'm done with you. I'm done with this whole thing. And now it's being told that we're now married. So it's like, whoa, you go from being done to we're married. So it's like, I don't know.
You know what? Normally I don't agree with some of the new people we get on here, and that's not a diss to anyone, but there's been most new people that I've wanted to wring their necks out. But in Lady X's case, I actually agree with you. To be honest, I kind of feel like this is kind of like, how can I say this, Maury Povich out of the blue that like to break up, and then the dude says, will you marry me? And then everything's okay. I'm like, this makes no goddamn fucking sense. But, you know, it's probably going to be bringing big fucking ratings to E when they air it, so WWE's going to make more fucking money at the end of the day. Whoopee! But congratulations, all in order for those two anyway. Moving on now to wrestling news. The main event this week. How can I describe this? Well, the first match was Kofi Kingston versus Curtis Axel. A pretty good, decent match, what you would expect from Kofi. Kofi would win the match with a roll-up after he gave the Trouble in Paradise to the fucking metal post. Idiot. But the most surprising thing about this whole main event this week was Ryback. Don't we just love that asshole?
Oh, my God. Can I kill him?
Ryback, I think we have found his new gimmick on the main event, apparently. In all four matches, he came out either during or after walking around the ring like an idiot. Apparently, he's now going to be Ryback, I'm the Ultimate Troll, as we saw with his Twitter account last week, which was making no goddamn sense. So, yeah, Ryback is now going to be the male version of AJ Lee. God help us all. Also, Damian Sandow defeated Sin Cara in what was probably the best match of the main event. So, Sin Cara, congratulations. You're not the rare one, but this one is better than the original, so yay. As far as the tag team match, it's probably the worst match I saw this week. The Primetime Players defeated three-man band in a handicap match. There's just some people who should never wrestle together. Those are reasons. That's the main example because they did not mesh well at all. As far as for the main event, it was the Flying Jalapenos and the Little Bull taking on three-man band, and the Flying Jalapenos would win that match. So yeah, anybody have any feelings about the main event if they watched it this week?
I have to ask this one thing because it still fucking bothers me. Now, we all know what Ryback fucking did. Why and how does he still have a fucking job? Or why isn't he not suspended for something he did when he obviously injured or caused everything that's right now that Dolph Ziggler is going through? He should be punished. Seriously.
You know, that's a good question. Well, at least I think you would agree with me on this, since we know Vince McMahon is running the show. We know Vince McMahon likes one kind of type of wrestler, the big, muscle-bound idiots, correct?
Yes.
So, what's Ryback?
A big, muscle-bound idiot.
Thank you, Lady X. And that pretty much says why Ryback still has a job. He's a big, muscle-bound idiot. And you know what? I'm just going to make this assumption. You can hate me for it all you want. If you put face paint and put a fucking long fucking hair wig on Ryback, we'd probably get the Ultimate Warrior of 2014. There, I said it.
Okay.
And everyone went silent. Apparently that made everybody run away.
Did we lose someone?
No.
I heard somebody hang the phone up. We still got.
Maybe we lost Lady X.
Maybe it was Lady X. If it was, she'll probably call back in. Well, since main event's done, let's get to, I can't believe I'm saying this, TNA Wrestling. Oh, boy.
Red?
Next.
I'm saying, where's Red?
Red is not here. Red had to take care of business, so I will be covering this part of the Impact, apparently. Lady X, is that you?
It is me. Sorry, I got disconnected.
It's all right. Probably the weather, as everything else this week. Now the TNA. I watched it last night, this morning once I got power back. Kayla, you did not watch it, correct?
I haven't watched it for 2 months, so.
Damn, that's Rock and Reese. What about you?
I haven't watched it in Lord knows when.
Oh dear God, Lady X.
I didn't watch it last night. I watched it the past 2 times, but I didn't watch it last night.
Well, I will fill in the notes for everyone who missed it then. Pretty much, the only things to take away from last night's show is this. Bully Ray and Mr. Anderson had a great match. Believe it or not, I'm actually giving praise here. It was a damn good match. Probably the best match I've seen in TNA in a long time. And by the way, Bully Ray did have I think it was some kind of thing right around his hand or something that had Mae Young's initials on it. Apparently, he dedicated that match to him because they were live last night. So, go figure. So Bully Ray, good job on the win. Good job dedicated to Mae Young. Mr. Anderson, thank you for not botching like you normally do. But this is where I wanted to come with TNA, one of the 2 points I had with it. As we all know, we found out the American Wolves have now debuted in TNA, not WWE. The reason being, and this is why I was saving it for tonight, one, of course, remember a few weeks ago, in December, I went off on Davey Richards when he canceled his Ring of Honor appearance to go do some other show. But apparently the second reason they did not sign with WWE again falls on Davey. He has is what we call a Napoleon complex. He thinks his shit don't stink. And WWE, between knowing that Davey's known not for showing up on occasions, and apparently we know he does not have good fan things, they decided we're not going to deal with that. Unfortunately for Eddie, anytime you want to stay a tag team, you live by that sword and you die by that sword. So TNA did pick him up, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Like, honestly, obviously they have to go somewhere. But my issue with this is, and I've told you and I've told everyone else in the conference, that they basically signed into a sinking ship. It's no lie that TNA is going down, which is why I haven't watched it in 2 months. So honestly, do they want to go down with the company? Because that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether you get a new investor or not. The company's going to go down, and apparently they want to go down with it.
Anybody else have an opinion on this?
That's the whole story. It is like, and this is what I constantly warn people about, is like, you can be fantastic in a ring, but if for some reason you are causing mischief backstage, or people don't trust you, or you give even a single red flag as to why we cannot rely on you, odds are that's probably the reason why you are not going to be a main event player. And unfortunately, guess what? As much as Davey Richards has been hyped, that's going to hurt. And you know what, Doug, you actually hit up a great point. Unfortunately, Eddie Edwards is getting gilded by association with there, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time before he's finally done and over with this once and for all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I just came into the convo. It's Rob from Canada, whatever. It's the Canadian. Yes. Okay, moving on. Now,
it's Jericho. It's Chris Jericho.
It's the Canadian Destroyer.
So, moving past this. Okay, what the problem is, okay, first of all, Davey Richards should be lucky he's got a job literally anywhere, because if this was back when we had the territories, the second you got blackballed, you were pretty much out of the business. And he would have gotten blackballed. Let's be honest. The second you start missing dates and causing problems with management, you're blackballed in the business. You're right about Eddie Edwards again being guilty by association, but I mean again, that's pretty much the same thing that happened with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty in the Rockers. If one did something wrong, the other got the heat, guilty by association.
You know what, Rob? I agree with you, and I think this just proves, and I think we saw this with Kofi and Evan Bourne. Everybody's got to remember, when you're part of the tag team, whatever you do, it fucks your partner over, and vice versa. If you do something stupid, you feel the punishment, and so does your partner. Hopefully,
that's right.
Will like that very soon.
And this is what they keep saying even on Total Divas. I mean, if one of the Funkadactyls does something, it really affects the other's career. And they keep saying, hey, I don't care what your issues are. This is our career. This is my career we're talking about as much as it is yours. If you fuck up, it comes back to me.
But the same with Jimmy and Jay Uso. You know, the Usos.
Right.
Like, you know, who is it? Jimmy that likes to get, you know, that drinks a lot of, I think that's the one that got the drinking problem.
It's Jimmy
Uso.
What, John? You're talking Trini's boyfriend, right?
Husband, actually, now.
John, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the reason why they can't get over can't get that hump.
Well,
because of them DUIs he has.
Right.
Lady X, I posed a question to you because we're talking about the American Wars. I'm sure you've heard who they are through the internet and everything else. Do you think this is a good or bad move on their part?
You know, I don't know on their standpoint. I mean, I have a lot of issues when it comes down to tag teams and judgmental issues.
Fair enough. But
my thing is, if my partner start missing dates or whatever, and I want to go to a bigger company like WWE, honestly, I know they say, oh, you know, y'all like brothers or whatever, but honestly, at that point, I'd be like, dude, we're done. I'm going somewhere else.
Right? And honestly, and I don't know if this could necessarily be true, the way I see it is they've also screwed themselves, well, Davey screwed, you know, the whole team. They've screwed themselves into going back to ROH. Because ROH won't be able to trust Davey at all. Because
they kind of burnt that bridge. I hear what you're saying.
When we get to Ring of Honor, I'll bring that up, so I'm going to save that for the Ring of Honor part. But just to put a final strawberry on this Sunday of this, I've gone on record saying how much I hate Samoa Joe and the Ornament Warrior. We've heard me go off on them. But I hate Davey so much, I actually would rather cheer for the Ornament Warrior and Samoa Joe before I cheer for that son of a bitch. So let that sink in for a minute.
Wow.
That should tell you how much I hate Davey. Last subject with TNA before we jump to SmackDown. Next week's main event. It is Magnus versus Sting. And by the way, next week, you may want to brace yourselves because that's when all the motherfuckers are going to be talking about Sting and Taker again. Because next week, if Magnus wins, Sting is gone from TNA, gone forever. If Sting wins, he wins the title. There's an agreement here that Sting's probably going to fucking lose this match next week.
He's going to come back. Yeah, it's bullshit. You know, they put in all these stipulations, and it doesn't really affect anything. You know, you get fired, you're eventually going to come back, so whatever.
But he's already in their Hall of Fame. Does he really need to do anything more in TNA?
Nope.
But more than likely, he's probably going to lose.
I don't see Sting winning.
That's what I'm saying. He'll lose the match. He'll be gone from TNA, but it's not like he has anything else to prove in TNA, nor does he have anything to prove in his wrestling career. His resume speaks for itself.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does he need to do anything more? No. That's his way of, if that's his way of, that he deems that he wants to bow out of the business, I say let him.
Go out in the place of glory.
It's always best to go on your back, and every wrestler knows it.
And now the good news. We're done with TNA wrestling. We don't have to talk about it now. So, Kayla.
Yes. Sorry.
Let's go to SmackDown.
in the territory known as SmackDown, a.k.a. Bore Down, because that's what it's been nothing else of. But it did kick off with, I think, a memorable thing. It kicked off with basically a montage of Mae Young and what she's done, and they showed it later again in the show. But when the show officially started, it kicked off with a match, the New Age Outlaws, and the first match of being on the active roster, which I'm perfectly fine with because we need to push the tag division. But they took on the champions, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. And in the middle of the match, Vicky comes out just to talk about the Royal Rumble. They say, you know, friends are going to betray friends. Brothers are going to face brothers. You have no allies in this match. Which basically...
Foe against foe, friend against foe, yada, yada, yada.
Which basically that gives the Outlaws the chance to get a roll-up, and, you know, the Rogues are freaking out like, what the fuck? And that's basically how that ends, and I'm just like, okay. It was a good match until, you know, Vicky came out and ruined everything.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Gee, I wonder who sent that skank out.
Yeah, now I would like to clarify something because I noticed it earlier today on the WWE.com page. A goddess like Michael Cole. Apparently the New Age Outlaws were removed from the alumni roster to the main roster, so it looks like they're going to be part of the main roster for a while.
That's what I said. This was their first match on the main roster.
Sorry,
but I think they probably there to like help tag teams out, though. You know, to help build the division.
Right.
I mean, it's not a bad move. I mean, I like the move, you know. While not moving to the alumni, you know, help out the tag team division, where, you know, the tag team titles are pretty much slacking. You know, they are slacking because you have no legitimate tag teams. So it's a good move.
All right. Okay, what else happened?
Okay, oh, Jesus, I didn't write down barely anything. Basically, the show was a bunch of promos and matches. You had Heyman come out, and he's basically out there bitching and cutting good promo as usual, and the Big Show comes out and ruins everything like he did the last time. Moving on, we have another Mae Young tribute. And then we get to the last match of the show, so I would say it's like the main event match. You have the Usos taking on the Real Americans. Zeb comes out in a fucking wheelchair because of this big, huge punch, and personally I don't think it's really that devastating unless he actually hits them. It's probably, like I said, just a kayfabe thing. The match was okay. It wasn't that great. The Usos ended up winning. They tossed around with Zeb once or twice, and that's all it had going for it. Then we get into... Like, Doug, you got to say something?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it because after the Usos and Swagger match, I pretty much just tuned out. Yeah, Snyder to me tonight reminded me of WCW Saturday Night Wrestling, and that's all I got to say. Continue.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So we get into the actual main event, whatever you want to call it. They were talking about it the whole fucking show, which basically took the interest out for me. CM Punk, he was going to call out, you know, the New Age Outlaws and the Shield. But basically, first he comes out and he's talking trash about the Authority, namely Triple H, saying that he hides behind his wife and he abuses his power. And, you know, that happens when you have heels that run the business. And then, you know, as he's trash-talking, the Shield comes out, and the New Age Outlaws come out. They're kind of just, like, chilling on the apron, like they're teasing like they're going to come in and attack. And here's where it gets really fucked up to me because I didn't understand it at all. King comes out, and he's just telling them to stand down. He gets inside the ring, and he says, I think you're misunderstanding everything. In fact, the authority has now told me that my primary objective is to make sure that you're safe and you get the respect that you deserve. And honestly, I think the wise thing is they should have ended it at that, but it didn't. This punk, he used his big pipe bomb mouth and basically talked a bunch of trash to Kane, calling him a sellout, and among other names. Kane stops. He's pissed off. He's like, you know what? You get him, boys. And as they come in to get him, Kane comes in, chokeslams him, and bam, that's the end. I honestly do not understand that ending. I was saying it in conference. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm not with this fucking storyline. I don't understand anything that's going on, no matter who you fucking bring in. All right, so guys, spill out your opinion, because I'm done.
No. Okay.
I honestly, I probably fell asleep right before the last match, the Uso match, so I didn't catch shit.
We know how that goes. Anybody else?
Honestly, they spelled out that CM Punk was going to call out the New Age Outlaws for making him hang on Monday Night Raw, and then he was going to call out the Shield. We all know how CM Punk calls out everybody and defends out for himself. Like, mad props for the dude, whatever. But what the fuck is, why did Kane have to come out and run, what is this with Kane? What is this? Don't catch the storyline here.
You know, I have a theory why Kane's coming out, and if this theory proves to be true, I want WWE to write the check to me. I feel that Kane is actually a mole for the boss, not Triple H, the other boss, and Kane's working secretly for Vince, trying to, Vince is like, maybe I should protect CM Punk. CM Punk is one of my more popular stars, yada, yada, yada. So Kane's a mole.
I don't know what to call this, because my thing is, okay, if he's like this, if Kane is like, not to cut sorry for cutting you off, Karen, if Kane is like this suit or whatever, if he can make matches, then why do you have GMs?
Exactly.
Right?
That makes
exactly.
it all the more confusing. But honestly, what I think is, I'm not confused about his gimmick. I am fine with his gimmick. It's just what they're doing with him. And Rob, you can speak.
Okay. All right. I think the thing for me is I can kind of understand where they're going storyline-wise. Like, okay, King comes down, he's trying to be that voice of reason, and I'm going to give you the respect you're looking for, and yada, 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 yada. And, okay, and this is supposed to, I guess, try and soothe over Punk's situation, whatever, to get to Royal Rumble and this and that. If Punk is going to basically call Kane out at the same time, it makes sense for Kane to sick everyone else on him. Look, I tried to save you. You want to be a jackass? Fuck you. I'm gonna deal with your ass this way then. So I kind of understand that. What I don't understand is why Punk would call Kane out at that point. You've been offered that respect at least to Royal Rumble. Take it at Royal Rumble. Take everyone out at Rumble, win it, and then go on and become the champion again. It just didn't make sense as to why he would call Kane out there. That's what confused me.
Okay, bye.
He probably figured it was like a loaded. He was blowing smoke up his rear end on this one.
Someone was.
Before the next person speaks, I'm looking at my clock. I'm getting tapped by the invisible clown behind me to get told move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
got 10
for that.
minutes.
How much time left there?
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. You know what? Let's go to Ring of Honor because I'm really getting tired of wanting to talk about SmackDown because if we talk about it any longer, I'm going to want to watch ECW December to Dismember again from 2006, I think it was. So, Ring of Honor time. Let's talk about what we were talking about earlier with Eddie and Davey, because I wanted to save it for this. Apparently, yes, Davey did burn his bridge. Nigel McGuinness and everybody else in the back is pretty much we don't want him back. Now, good news for Eddie, however, Eddie still has that open door to come back if he chooses to. So, Eddie, safe. Davey, I think we can all say this in Ring of Honor terms, go fuck yourself. Now talking about shit that's actually important in Ring of Honor. Tomorrow night's main event is the new television champion, Tommaso Ciampa, taking on Cyrus Young, and Jay Lethal, the number one contender, apparently, will be watching this match. So definitely tune into that.
Wait, is this taped or is this live?
This will be on TV. This is not pay-per-view.
Okay,
Next
good.
Saturday's the pay-per-view. Speaking of pay-per-view matches, Michael Elgin sent out a video a few days ago saying that he is challenging after the pay-per-view next Saturday. He wants to face AJ Styles, and he wants to prove that AJ may be phenomenal, but you can't break the unbreakable. So I asked this question. If Ring of Honor is able to get this match to happen, who wins it, AJ Styles or Michael Elgin?
Yeah, man, I'm actually pumped for this match because I've been watching it for a bit now. It's exciting because I'm always an AJ fan, and then I think it's a good match in general. No matter who wins, I think these guys are going to pull it off. And I think it's kind of one of those matches you can't exactly predict until it happens. So
I'm with Kara. The fans win this one. The fans win the most on this one. Let's put it that way. Who actually gets the fall? I don't know. I'm a fan of both these guys, so I'm not even gonna try and sit here and go, oh, Elgin's gonna win or AJ's gonna win just because he's coming back and this and that. And I mean, you can make arguments all over the place. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be doing that. But I do think the fans win the most. If you want to get into who's winning anything, the fans are the one that wins this one.
Understandable. Rock and Eastside. No, Ring of Honor's pay-per-view is going to be in your hometown next Saturday, so, you know, that AJ and Elgin's not on the pay-per-view. They're going to say that for a later date, but aren't you pumped to know that you get to see that match is going to happen?
Like, if they live up to the hype, like I said, Elgin and Styles will Elgin and Styles will, like, tear this up, but as far as who I actually see winning this one, you know, I'm actually going to call a winner on this one, and, you know, for some reason, I don't see Styles losing in this one anytime soon, losing any shows anytime soon, so I said they're going to let AJ come in and ride a nice little win streak before they have somebody knock him off.
All right. I think it's going to be one for the fans because this is going to be one of those great matches that we're going to be talking about once it happens. Unfortunately, no one else is going to talk about it since it is what it is there. I think, though, Elgin will win due to some outside interference, and I'll explain that in a second. But who just came back in? Was it Lady X or was it the other gentleman who joined us?
Who's Lady X?
Well, Lady X, the question's on you. AJ Styles versus Elgin. When this happens, who wins? If you can pick a winner.
It's hard. It's hard to say. I mean, you know, they're both big. They're both big superstars to the fans. I think if it's a clean-cut match, I don't know. I think it falls on the fans, honestly, if it's a clean-cut match.
That's three people that think that.
Damn, well, we got a good crew who in here tonight. Now, of course, next Saturday, let's skip ahead to that because we will not be talking about Ring of Honor next Friday, and me and Caleb will tell you why in a few minutes. But next Saturday is Ring of Honor's big pay-per-view, the first pay-per-view of 2014, which I believe is in Pittsburgh, correct, Reese?
Yes. I think like they'll go. Yeah, because I think they are into it next week.
All right. Well, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, please go check them out. Ring of Honor. They do on great matches. The main event for the pay-per-view next week is Michael Elgin and Chris Hill taking on the Briscoe brothers, taking on Matt Hardy and Adam Cole, a triple threat tag team match. Should be a great match. I'm sure we all kind of figured out who we're going to know there. But if you cannot watch the pay-per-view next week, next Saturday on TV, Ring of Honor TV, next Saturday, AJ Styles will face Roderick Strong. So either way, if you can't watch the pay-per-view, you're going to get a great match next week on TV anyway. But back to the pay-per-view for 1 second. Who wins that triple threat tag team match? Adam Cole and Matt Hardy, the Briscoes, or Chris Hero and Michael Elgin?
Oh, nerdgasm. My God, there's so many fucking options, but I have to go with my heart, and I gotta say Adam Cole and Matt Hardy.
Oh, God, I'm sure this is going to lead to a fight eventually. Rock and Reese, what was yours?
I'm going to go... Ooh, man, somehow I'm going to go with the Unbreakable duo on this one.
So you're going with Chris Hero and Michael Elgin. All right, who else do we have in here? Lady X, the Canadian Destroyer. Who's left? Or did they all leave?
No, I'm here.
Okay, lady. I didn't hear.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was scared. I'm like, oh no, the damn phone thing's acting up again. Lady X, here's a question. Who you got?
Oh my God. Jeez, decisions. Oh fuck. Sorry, I thought my phone just hung up. Sorry. I was like, fuck. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I don't even know. I'm going to honestly say Adam Cole and Matt Hardy.
Damn. Well, Reese, normally I would agree with you because I love Michael Elgin and I love Chris Hill, but I got to join the ladies on this one. I got to take Adam Cole and Matt Hardy. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing one more person join Adam Cole and Matt Hardy next Saturday. I don't know who it is yet, but let's just say he's a former ECW heavyweight champion. So I'm going to say on that. Which, of course, Rock and Reese and Cal, they probably will be able to figure out who it is before half the people listening. Rob, are you still in here or did you hang up? Okay, Rob hanged up. Well, let's talk about next Friday a little bit. Cal, you and me talked about this. So why don't you tell everyone what we're doing next Friday on the main event?
Oh, let's see if I can fucking remember. Well, usually since, there's a pay-per-view, we usually talk about, we have a special. I don't know. You talk about it because I can't remember shit right now.
I'm the drunk one, and yet she doesn't remember any of that, folks. Next
Royal
Friday
Rumble special.
Is our Royal Rumble Royal Rumble special. Yes, that is correct, Mr. Rock and Reese. We will be talking about the pay-per-view, making our predictions, but not only that, we'll also be going over our favorite Rumble moments, our favorite Rumble match, and our least favorite Rumble match. And since we're so popular doing the Survivor Series special, I'm bringing it back. The Fantasy Royal Rumble. This one's a little different, however. I am taking every winner of the Royal Rumble. No, they will not be duplicates. You're not seeing Stone Cold and Michaels and Hogan and Cena at least twice. We're going to take every winner, put them in the Rumble match, and it's going to be decided by us, the fans. Who is the ultimate Royal Rumble? Who is the king of Royal Rumbles? Is it Big John Studd? Is it Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Is it Lex Luger? Is it Yokozuna? We will vote on that. We will vote on that next week for Fantasy Warfare, whatever you want to call it. Now, Reese, we know you got ring lockers with the Canadian Destroyer, or the Goose, or whatever he calls himself on the show, because I can't remember. What are you guys doing next Wednesday night?
Well, I think there's a theme with everybody, because we're also getting ready to Rumble, too. So, yeah, we're also doing our Royal Rumble special. special, and Lord knows how many cards I'm going to be talking about next week because, if I thought this week was loaded, next week's going to be even worse.
Oh, God, I'll definitely be tuning into that because you'll be back on your normal time, correct?
That's right, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central.
I just to clarify, everybody, because normally I know this past Wednesday you were on a little early at 8 o'clock doing Arrow. I apologize for missing, but I had to see Green Arrow shoot people. Also, please do not forget to turn to our other shows we have here on WCC. We have the Raw After Show, which takes about 30 minutes after Raw, give or take, when everybody shows up. On Tuesday nights, we have Overload, which is usually Face Off. Wednesday nights, we have our boy Rockin' Reese and his new co-host, the Canadian Destroyer, doing Ring Rockers. And, of course, Sex Battle, starring Jacob Gator. I'm drunk, folks. But I never heard of Sex Battles. It's a new show apparently starting next week, so I wouldn't bother tuning into it. Yes, I'm an ass. Now, everybody knows me. I'm an asshole. So, yeah, if you haven't figured that out by now.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, we got to get that video up here eventually. And, of course, on Thursdays, if Big Red decides to go back to it, TNA Recipe, which may eventually become either Combat Zone Wrestling, Ring of Honor Recipe, or New Japan Recipe, depending how long TNA stays alive. Other than that, is there any other news or anything else anybody wants to talk about before we have to go?
Yeah, just real quick, don't forget we want to give a happy 60th birthday shout out. Actually, his birthday's tomorrow, to WWE Hall of Famer $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Oh, did not know that. Well, happy birthday, Ted DiBiase. I
want a $100 bill there, Ted. Just saying.
And I'd like to say, rest in peace, Mae Young.
Thank you, Kayla. Lady X, you got anything else to put us, to send us out into the weekend?
Just rest in peace, Mae Young.
All right, well, in that case,
you will be missed dearly.
Oh, I interrupted you. I apologize. Continue, Lady X.
I just said rest in peace, Mae Young. You'll be missed dearly.
Well, I do agree with that. So, Mae Young, I hope you enjoyed our show tonight, listening up there with the fabulous Miller and the rest of the legends we have lost over the years. And other than that, enjoy your weekend, everybody. This is the DOUG signing off for myself, Rockin' Reese, Lady X, and the Hardcore Queen, Miss Carol. We will see you next Friday night for the Royal Rumble special. Till then, we're out of here.